Well, an important news coming from the Cricket Australia circuit. Glenn Maxwell has retired from ODI cricket effective immediately. So that's the latest update that we have for you. The key all-rounder in Maxwell, who was there for Australia in a couple of their World Cup winning campaigns, has retired from the 50 over cricket effective immediately, and that's the thing that he conveyed to Cricket Australia here. Well, Glenn Maxwell, in a statement, he said that I think back to right at the start, I was picked ahead of my time and out of the blue. I was just proud just be playing a couple of games for Australia. I thought I was just going to have that, but since then I have been able to have those ups and downs. I've been able to go through the ups and downs of being dropped, brought back, playing in a few World Cups, and being a part of some great teams. So overall, Glenn Maxwell has clearly mentioned that he's very grateful as far as playing ODI cricket for Australia is concerned. And overall, he said that about the 2027 World Cup, he doesn't think that he is going to make it. Maybe he's on the wrong side of his 30s. That's the thing. Or maybe there are some fitness concerns also, because usually when you reach the wrong side of the 30s, sometimes there can be some fitness concerns, and it has happened to even the best also. So that's where Maxwell feels that he's not really going to make it, and that's why he has retired from the format, and he wants to put all his energy and his focus on winning the 2026 T20 World Cup for Australia. So in case you've just joined us, well, Glenn Maxwell has retired from ODI cricket effective immediately. So if we take a look at, Glenn Maxwell's ODI journey, obviously he was, has had those, many ups and downs here, was dropped, brought back into the team, even played a few match winning knocks. Played a total of 3 ODI World Cups for Australia, 2015, 2019 and 2023. Scored that brilliant 100 against Sri Lanka in 2015 World Cup. That was also his first ODI 100. Played a key role in Australia winning the World Cup in the home conditions, the Trans-Tasman conditions. It was held in 2015. 2019 World Cup, very patchy with his performances, but still he was able to make sure that he was a part of that Australian team that reached the semi-finals in 2019, the World Cup that took place in England and Wales. And in 2023, he was once again a part of Australia's World Cup winning campaign. In India, yeah, it's not really a great thing for the Indian fans, when you always recall all these things. I'm sure a lot of fans, watching this would agree with. But Glenn Maxwell in that World Cup, he made sure that he not just pulled off those great performances that kept Australia in the tournament, but at the very same time, he also saved them from elimination. And which game I'm talking about, I'm sure you would understand it. Australia versus Afghanistan at the iconic Wankhede Stadium here. Well, Australia at one stage chasing about 280, 290 odd. They were clearly tottering, had lost about 5 or 6 wickets at about 70 or 80 odd mark. And what does Glenn Maxwell do? Just being on one leg, he made sure he played one of the best ODI knocks, or maybe arguably the best ODI knock that I have ever witnessed. I could never witness Kapil Dev's 175, but Glenn Maxwell's magnificent innings that he played made sure that Australia stayed in the hunt. They reached the semi-finals and eventually went on to win the ODI World Cup in 2023. So it was his heroics against Afghanistan that made sure Australia scripted history once again in the 50 over format. That knock came on one leg. He could not stand. He was just able to play his shots all through the power that he had in his wrist. Otherwise, there was no foot movement. There was nothing that he could do. And somehow he made sure that he brought Australia back into the ODI World Cup. So Glenn Maxwell has retired from ODI cricket. Let's take a look at some of his stats here. He made 201 obviously against Afghanistan. His strike rate of 126 is the second highest in ODI cricket, behind only West Indies' Andre Russell. And aside from his feat in Mumbai, the iconic stadium, he was part of Australia's 2 World Cup winning campaigns in 2015 and 2023. He played a total of 149 ODI matches for Australia, including what is regarded by many as the greatest ODI innings of all time. Many retirements for Australia here. Steve Smith has retired, Marcus Stoinis has retired. There's going to be no Glenn Maxwell. Mitchell Stark, Josh Hazelwood are on the wrong side of their 30s. So Australia is set to have a very different team for the ODI World Cup in 2027. Just a couple of comments here before we wrap things up. Ekansh Jindal is saying suddenly Australian team looks very weak. Their core team members are retiring. Warner, Smith, Maxwell. It'll be hard for them to defend the title. Yeah, it's going to be very hard. Going to be a massive test for Pat Cummins here, because this is where he'll have a new team, and how he guides them, it's something that remains to be seen. Last comment, freaking awesome. Players start to retire from his favorite format. Besides the popularity of T20s, there's not much competition between teams in ODIs. Pak, West Indies, Sri Lanka are playing very ordinary cricket. Yeah, I think in ODI cricket, it's maybe just down to some kind of competition that both India and New Zealand are offering. Pakistan pretty underwhelming. Australia, despite a very weak team, they managed to do well in the Champions Trophy. But now, would they be able to do well in the 2027 ODI World Cup? That remains to be seen. But Australia, despite all the weaknesses that they've had over the years, they have been able to get those massive wins. So let's see what happens. But Glenn Maxwell, no more ODI cricket for him. He is retired. Arguably played one of the best ODI innings of all time. Well, you can always say, Kapil Dev's 175 was there, but then I never saw it. I witnessed Glenn Maxwell's unbeaten 201. For me, it is the best ODI knock of all time. So what do you make of his retirement? Tell us your thoughts in the comment section. And don't forget to subscribe to Sports Today for all the exciting updates and analysis from the sporting world. Ekansh Jindal, we don't really know. There are a couple of replacements that Australia have. Could be Aaron Hardy, but he's a seam bowling all-rounder. Let's see how things go. I think Australia will have to find a couple of replacements. Big Bash League could be an important tournament in that case. And once again, don't forget to join us for the dugout today at around 6:15 or 6:30. It is going to be a great discussion on the IPL finale.